What's going on, everyone? MikeO back doing another card grading reveal video. Today, showing off some cards that came in from CSG. 6 cards. These are actually part of the most recent CSG order that I revealed, but these were sent with a request for subgrades. So 6 cards, all with subgrades, and they do ship them separately. So these finally came in. Definitely happy to get them back. Most of them are just for the collection, just cards that I thought would look a little better with the subgrades on the flip. There's no doubt about it that improves the flip, kills some of that dead space, and just the more and more you deal with a company, the more you get used to the product you're getting. And I can say, while I don't love CSG's flip, I've become more accustomed to it, and I really don't mind it now. I wouldn't say I dislike it. Do I have preferences for PSA and SGC? Yes, flip-wise, but I do think CSG overall does a very good job. They are tough. They do a tough job for sure. But hey, really strong grading, and if you're looking for a card and it's graded by CSG, you can feel pretty good about the condition of it. Quite honestly, from what I've seen, you have a chance of getting a bump if you were to send it into PSA. Not that that's necessarily worth doing in today's world with wait times and expenses, but the quality of the grade has been really strong from CSG from what I've seen. So let's take a look at the cards. First card is from 2021 Topps. It is a Mike Trout Rainbow Foil Parallel. This one received a mint 9, so I won't say that I did great on these on this order, but I'm okay with it. This is a card that I just wanted to have it slabs with the collection. Beautiful card. Mike Trout, obviously a darling of the hobby, despite the fact that 2021 was not one of his finer years. Missed the majority of the season with an injury, but just a beautiful looking card. So it got 9 in centering, corners, and edges. Little tough on some of those. Surface 8.5, and that's to be expected. If you look over there, right there, there is a mark on the surface, little print defect, and that was what my biggest concern was with this card. I thought it would maybe do a little better with some of the other subgrades, but overall expected a 9 and got it back. All right. Definitely a disappointment here with the mint 9. Edges and surface 9.5. Centering, they gave it a 9. Corners, little rough on 8.5. Regardless, obviously not a big card. It's a Topps Heritage Alec Bowman. This was sent off way back early in the season. He struggled as the year went on, and we'll see. I mean, certainly plenty of time to grow. I would suspect he'll be a big part of the 2022 Phillies team. You need productive young players, so we'll see. It was very good in his rookie season of 2020 and didn't really get in a groove in 2021, but we'll see. All right, second one did receive a 9.5 gem mint, 9 edges, 9.5 surface, corners, and centering. So that one will stay in the collection. Got a 2013 Allen and Ginter Pele missing text variation. This one received a mint 9, 8.5 corners, 9 edges, centering, 9.5 surface. So, missing text. Hard to miss that the text is missing when they inform you of such. So, Pele, that's one I might move. These next two are definitely for the collection. So I sent this in specifically to CSG because I just felt like that green CSG label, which doesn't necessarily always match the card. I thought it would match this card, and I just thought it would be pretty cool. And it's David Andrews. You might say, who's David Andrews? He's a center for the Patriots, part of a Super Bowl championship team. These are just players that do not get many cards, and thought this would be a cool one for the collection. So 9.5 on center and corners, edges 8.5, little tough there, 9 on the surface for a card like this. And honestly, the edges too with the foil are always going to be tough. Really nice looking card though. That's from Unparalleled. There you see it. Georgia's most valuable player in 2014. Helped the Pats in 51. So, cool card there. And then finally, a Chuck Bednarik. 1961 Topps Chuck Bednarik. Really sharp-looking card. I believe I got this one from Brian Roth. Received a near mint 7. 7 on the surface edges, corner 6.5 centering. Centering definitely the most glaring issue when you're just looking at this card. For a card from 1961, it's pretty darn clean. Looks really good. And super happy to get this one back into the collection. This order took quite a while. I believe I showed the details of when, or mentioned the details of when this stuff was sent off in my last reveal, and this one came in a week or two after the previous order. So definitely CSG is still backed up, but not quite as backed up as PSA. They are still the cheapest in town. If you go with no subgrades, I believe they're at $12 now. Previously, they were like $8. Subgrades are an extra $10. So it's got to be a card that you just want the subgrades. And some of these, these were cards I knew were just staying in the collection and just thought, you know what? I want the subgrades. Others, sometimes you don't mind. Sometimes I guess the subgrades can add value. I mean, if you're sending a very expensive card to CSG, it's kind of silly not to do subgrades. But if you're sending mid to low end stuff, sometimes it doesn't make sense to pay for the subgrades. If you're paying for the subgrades, perhaps you're better off going with a SGC. But I think it all depends on what you like to collect. I've evolved as a collector. I used to be that hard-nosed, everything's got to be PSA guy. And I've evolved to the point where I actually, in many cases, prefer SGC with certain cards. And a lot of times it makes sense to do CSG, and I do respect the job they're doing overall. Certainly there's room for improvement in various aspects, but you can say that about all the companies. So comment below, let me know what you think of this order, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great one.